Have you ever had mysterious knee pain pop up suddenly out of the blue and without any expected warning signs? That's what happened to me. I have sudden knee pain shooting down my leg, and it got so bad that I couldn't even flex my leg back, barely could walk on it. So today's workout is just going through all the motions. I don't know what's wrong with it, so I'm going to go through all the motions and just try to see if I can't loosen this thing up. Because what it feels like is extraordinary tightness down the tensor fascia lata and then down through the calf. So if you get random knee pains, this workout video might be for you. So just so we understand, this is my left knee. This is the one that's fine and working well, minus the scrapes. And this knee is the one that doesn't want to work properly. And you can see right over here, there's the swelling, right? So notice that, right? We could poke in on it and release it. That's how much it's swollen. It's pretty severe. Then we go over to this side. That sits pretty close to the kneecap. There's nothing there. So this is the problem area. And this area where it's swollen, that compartment, is up into the VLO, the vastus lateralis, and comes down through the tensor fascia lata. So this thing, the TFL, is extraordinarily tight shooting into here, right? So there's a lot going on at this junction, but that TFL will also, the fascia shoots down into here, right? And these bands right here, those are just to help keep all the tendons in place, because I know this is just kind of an unstructured mess. So while I work out, they're just here to keep things from getting worse. So when I say I don't know what this knee issue's from, I assume it's from this. These are pause presses from the other day. As I paused at the bottom, I would stop all force right at about where the knee's hurting on me, or where my range of motion's limited from. And at this position, I would try to drive lots of force going upwards. So my assumption is that this is really just the TFL and peroneus muscles down the side of the calf that are just very angry and aggravated at me for driving too much force too soon through them. So the first exercise I used to fix this was kettlebell swings. The kettlebell swings help me deliver a heavy stimulus to the legs, so that keeps my strength up, but the absolute fatigue and range of motion down. The next exercise I did was the adduction machine, and I did this for 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps, increasing the weight each set. I increased the weight each set to keep pushing my body while still recovering it and not pushing it over the range of motions that it was capable of doing for this day. I'm doing the adduction machine here to help open the hips, because at this point, I still don't really know what's wrong with my knee. I'm just taking guesses and using a shotgun approach where it's just you throw the whole kitchen sink at it and hope something sticks. The next exercise that I go to is the abduction machine. So this is an exercise that I would think would target this area, because it's the pain was on that outside of the knee. So I did the same thing here, 4 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions, increasing the weight each time. And this didn't hurt it or bother it at all. If anything, I think it made it feel a little bit better. Next, I would superset this with calf raises, seated calf raises. Why I chose the seated calf raise over the standing calf raise is because the soleus is more of a support muscle to the knee than the gastroc muscles are. But the gastroc I did hit after this. The other reason that I wanted to do this, the seated leg raises, is because these might hit the peroneus muscles a little bit better if I'm able to shift my toe angle out a little bit more, which I did. And sure enough, as soon as this exercise was done, the side of my leg, that side of the knee, it had this click to it, and I was able to get my full range of motion in the knee. So here I am doing the standing calf raises. I did those 5 by 20, and then would try to increase weight each set as fast as I could. So you might be wondering what these things are I'm wearing underneath my kneecap. They're spudding compression cuffs, and I'm using them kind of as a patellar strap to help keep the patellar tendon in line, as well as give a little bit of compression to whatever's injured around that knee. The next exercise I'm doing is single leg extensions. Why am I doing one leg over 2 legs? I'm doing one leg so that my good leg does not overcompensate for force productions that my bad leg can't produce. So I would take this exercise and go pretty light with it. And I would do the reps that I could do on that leg before doing my good leg. and then I would let my good leg kind of follow my bad leg. So the bad leg is the one that's actually having to do the pushing, and whenever the bad leg would stop and like, well, we can't do that much weight, I would not progress with the good leg. The next exercise is called banded external rotations. This exercise works by loading the foot and then rotating the fibular head around the knee. This is where a lot of my swelling and pain originates from. So it was my suspect that something was wrong at this joint. This exercise alone will not fix the issue, but my hope is that it mobilizes the issue so that whatever's caught up around that joint may be able to be knocked loose by the amount of blood flow and contraction being forced through it. Here's a view at another side. So notice you'll take a band, you'll mount it to something. I have my band mounted up a little bit high. Preferably I would say mount it low, but it doesn't seem to matter too much where that band is mounted, be it high or low. The important part is that it's mounted on the base of your foot, right about toe levels, right about where your toes are. From here, you want to hold the kneecap so that you're not externally rotating at the hip. You just want that external rotation to occur around that fibular joint to the side of the knee. The next exercise is single leg curls, 3 sets by 10 to 12 reps per side. So I'm doing this exercise to isolate the hamstrings and pull on that ACL in the back, or strengthen it. When it comes to strengthening the knees, strengthening the ACL through the hamstring is always a good place to go. I did this on both sides using a single leg so that if there was an injured side or one side was not pulling harder than the other, that the discrepancy would be worked out through single leg as opposed to being masked through the double leg exercise that doing both would give you. So in this aspect, I'm a fan of doing the single leg exercises like this so that it works out any sort of strength discrepancy. And you'll see that in this next exercise. This next one is called a single leg hyperextension. So I know this isn't new, but I kind of made it up. The way this exercise works is by putting one foot on the force plate, keeping one hip on the front pad, and then doing a normal hyperextension. Because your body's offset on one side, you're working the side of the body that's connected to the force plate. Then I'll switch legs and do the other side. Originally, I kind of came up with this to help with the discrepancy in erector size and strength between my erector muscles, but it actually works pretty well for this knee pain deal and strengthening that ACL as well. So give these a try if you like. Lastly, to finish it all off, I did sled push and pull combo. So I would go 50 feet down, pushing the sled, and then pull 50 feet backwards, and did this not so much for repetition or sets, but until I felt good. So after I did this workout, I had a click in the side of my knee, and my knees felt great, and I was able to get full range of motion on my squat depth again. My suspicion is that the tensor fascia lata from the overhead push presses got overly tight, causing for some sort of dysfunction to happen around that fibular tibial joint in the side of the knee. This workout fixed it, and next time it happens, do this again.